When did you learn that you had breast cancer the first time?
The first time was in 2001. And I found it because I was getting baseline mammograms at age 35. And every year I would go and get another one, and they were able to compare it to the age 35 mammogram. So at age 39, there was a small shadow that had not been there before.
Whoa.
And so I was very lucky to have found it then, because if I had waited until 40, when the standards are wait until 40 years old to get your first mammogram, it would have looked like normal tissue. I was also found to have the bad breast cancer. I didn't know there was a good or a bad one, but back in 2001, they didn't have the name triple-negative breast cancer. They just called it estrogen and progesterone-negative breast cancer back then. What that simply means is the cancer cells do not respond to estrogen, they don't respond to progesterone, and they're not fueled by the HER2 new oncogene. That's important because there is a pill or a chemo called Herceptin that can fight that. So there's nothing you can take after your chemotherapy to keep you cancer-free when you have triple-negative breast cancer. And it's the most aggressive type there is. So when I started doing research and found out that I had a very bad prognosis and I had the bad breast cancer, that just seemed to make things a lot worse. The spirit inside that got you through hearing you have cancer, fighting the cancer, has to heal now. It has to nurture and heal, and you have to come to grips with who you are now. And you also, I like to say, fall in love with yourself again. And the only way you can do that is to get to know your new body again. A lot of times women have a disconnect between their new body and themselves. They see these breasts and they're saying, whose are these? These aren't mine. So you have to learn who you are again. I actually am in better shape now than I was before cancer. I'm stronger physically, I'm at a better weight, my hair is nicer, and I have a much better outlook on life. And every woman who has breast cancer, it's not over because you had breast cancer. It can be your just beginning. You have to get over the fear of recurrence by living forward and thinking, I'm going to live my life to the fullest. And if it does come back, and oftentimes it does, at least I lived a full life. But if you live thinking this is going to come back and you don't live your life, then if it does come back, you've lost so much. How many loved your many moments of glad grace and loved your beauty with a love false or true, but one man loved the pilgrim soul in you and the many sorrows of your changing face. It's a poem, it's absolutely beautiful, and it's from the poem called When You Are Old. And it's really talking about a woman who is thinking about her life and the lovers that she had. And there's that one lover who saw her for all of her, the changes that she went through, even the crow's feet and the changing face. A woman should look for a fellow traveler who will embrace what she's been through and say, hey, you know what? This woman has been through breast cancer and now here she is fine, stronger than ever. I think she's wonderful. I want to be with someone like this. And you want a man who's going to celebrate your victories and not look at it as a handicap, because cancer is a small part of what happened to you. It's not your whole life. You have a whole lifetime of experiences, and you should not just think of yourself, as I said before, the permanent cancer patient. Find a fellow traveler who will celebrate all the changes in life with you. For single women, I say, let's say you go on your first date.
Right.
You do not have to say between the entree, you know, and dessert, oh, by the way, my breasts used to be my belly. You don't have to tell them that. Get to know them. And also, as I said, cancer was only a small part of you. You have a whole history. But on the converse, get to know this guy. Do you really want to go out on a second date with him? And maybe you don't even want to share, you know, your phone number with this guy, much less tell him your person. Yeah.
Right.
So wait. There is, unless it's something that you have to get off your chest, so to speak, there's no reason for you to suddenly just give him this right at once. Get to know him. When I was first diagnosed, it was in September of 2001, and I went into the city to see a specialist. and it was on Tuesday morning, September 11th, 2001. And I actually saw the plane fly low over my head as I went into the doctor's office. So the sky was falling, the world was falling apart, and I was also newly diagnosed with breast cancer, feeling sorry for myself, poor me, you know, trying to get out of the city. I got onto the Triborough Bridge, and I was the only one on there because they were closing down the city. I looked down, I got out of my car, and I looked down at Lower Manhattan, and I said to myself, those people didn't have a chance to fight, but I do. And snap out of it, you know, you're lucky. And that really is when No Surrender was born. The No Surrender Breast Cancer Foundation.
The No Surrender Breast Cancer Foundation.
And you can get online and just put in No Surrender Breast Cancer into Google and it'll take you right there.
Okay.
The first part of the foundation, the lifeblood of it, is our website. We have also a support forum. After you read everything you need to know on the website, then you can jump over to our 24/7 live support forum, where you can talk to women. We have women from all over the world on our support forum. And you can talk to someone who's newly diagnosed. You can talk to somebody who's done with everything and share experiences. We even have a section where you can share recipes. And so you get that one-on-one that you won't get from your doctor because it's from other survivors, and you get great tips from these women.